Hey guys, another gorgeous day today. I don't know what the temp's gonna get up to, but it's pretty nice right now. Had a buddy come over and he had backed into something in his truck and it pushed the tailgate or pushed the rear quarter in so much that the tailgate wouldn't open. So it brought over, I got my porta power out and we got her all worked back out good to where it opens tailgate and everything. So that's kind of what I've been doing this morning. Of course, it's only 10:45 right now. Yeah, 73 degrees outside. Looks like the high is going to be 81, so it's going to be beautiful, really. So I have both my doors open for the day, which I really like. Get me a good breeze blowing. So back to this. I'm gonna work on the spoiler today, and here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do a lot of thinking is what's gonna happen. I hope I don't hurt myself. I'm back to considering shaving these, okay? And we'll see how this works out. I've already got the okay from the owner, and he said, hey, if it doesn't work, we'll buy another one. And so what I'm thinking about is I'm gonna get all that put back together. I'm gonna put it back on. I'm gonna get this thing set on there, because on here there's a nice gap. I mean, there's a close to a ½ inch gap. So my thought is, if I take a 1/4 inch off this, it drops this gap to a 1/4 inch. Well, that makes it even more sleek, meaner looking. You know what I mean? It just looks cleaner, better. But my thought is if that's the case, why hasn't everybody started doing this? How come somebody else hasn't done this already? So there's got to be some little hiccup somewhere. I've thought about this deal here, where your stud comes out, because I'm gonna have to shave some of that down too. So what I'm thinking about doing is just taking a little bit off at a time and just lowering it and setting it up there, tightening it down and seeing how it looks until I get it where I want it. This one here, you see, this stud comes all the way up, so I'd have to shave pretty much this whole area off. Okay, well, that means I'm gonna have to shave down into here too, which I don't know how far that stud goes down in there, so I'm gonna have to kind of play with that a little bit and see what I can come up with. But that's the plan for right now. I'm gonna play with that today. I may just do some thinking today more than anything else, and kind of see what I can come up with and try to get a plan. But that's what I'm gonna do right now, and I gotta clean these tools up and get the shop swept up a little bit and get this back to normal where I can work. And yeah, if this works out, it'll be fantastic and it'll look fantastic. And what I'm thinking about doing is, once these are off, I've got enough edge there that I can take, I can either get some rubber, or 3M makes this double-sided adhesive stuff that they put emblems and all kinds of stuff. Stuff is amazing, I mean, like I said, this is what they put the emblems on cars, and they stay on for years and years and years and years. So I'm just looking for a pad, just a little something to keep the paint from getting jacked up. So I may use that. I may see if I can get some gasket material or something if this works out. But yeah, I think it'll look cleaner. And like I said, he gave me the go-ahead. Even if I have to, modify the edge of this. This stuff is, I took a razor blade and kind of scraped on this stuff. It's really pretty soft. Again, it's just some kind of blown plastic or whatever they call something C or I forgot. Anyway. So yeah, if I have to reshape this a little bit if I have some clearance issues, I'll do that. This right here, I don't think is going to be a problem at all because of the way the fender is. But once I get it all set up there, I'll bring you back and show you my clearance issues and kind of mold that around a little bit. All right, guys, talk to you a little bit. All right, guys, here we go. The bit didn't cut quite as perfect as I wanted. But it's not bad, and they're just holes. But and it's way better than what it was. I also went ahead and dressed this up because it wasn't quite far up as it needed to be so that you could get a nut on this. That was another thing I was going to say. The angle, you can see maybe you can see that. Turn it around here. But that basically is running straight at me. So that gives it, here. So if you're going to put a nut on it, you use your nut driver. Now you can stick it straight in there, right at the right angle, perfect. Same with this one. Get a nut driver in there, take it on off real easy. Same with this one here. It's right at that angle. So that'll make it work. I think from the factory, they were a little higher up, and I kind of struggled with that a little bit. And I talked to Tom on the phone, Noble, about it. And while I'm talking about these guys, let me just say thank you to the guys who helped me out, especially Tom and Carrie. Made videos for me and kind of showed me the placement. These are exactly what you said, Tom, 12.5, and then from here to here is 15.5, I believe, and then from here to this one is 15.5. So worked out perfect. This thing fits like it's supposed to. Now I can actually get a nut in there, you know, to tighten that down. So, but anyway, again, big shout out, big thank you to you guys. I appreciate it. You know, it's great to have guys like you that are watching the videos that just, you know, pretty much drop what you're doing and say, hey, I'll make you a video real quick and show you that. So that helps a lot. So I appreciate you guys, and I just want to say thank you. So so what I'm going to do now is I'll probably just put some nuts on these real quick just to kind of hold it on, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my trunk back on and then do what we talked about earlier. So I won't go back through that again, but once I get it on there and get some ideas, I'll bring you back and show you what it's looking like and see what I can get away with. So, alright guys, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Hey guys, so I got it all bolted on, I got it down tight. I didn't put the little grommets that squash in there because I didn't want it. I only really want to squash those once. I don't want to keep over squashing them and re-squashing them. You know, that looks really good. I mean, the roundness, the way it's fitting is dang near perfect. Now that is a, let's take a look at it. Got some calipers here. I didn't measure that out, and that's going to be a little higher because I've got the trunk a little lower because when I put my rubbers in, it's going to raise it up a little bit here. So I need to press up on it a little bit, so I'll have to add a little bit to that. But I'm looking at, let's set the camera down real quick and raise this up like I'm supposed to. It's about 475 thousandths is what I'm getting right there. And so yes, I could bring that down to where, man, it's just like an 1/8 inch or 1/16 of an inch over that, and I could put some, what I was saying over there, like it wouldn't be double-sided tape, but it'd be like that, the foam, like sticky foam on one side, where it adheres to the inside of this, but it doesn't, it allows it not to hit the paint here. Here's the issue. This is what's going to happen. You can see the gap here, maybe. So if you raise this up, like I said, just a little bit. I had this in here at right at 1/4 inch. It was about 250 thousandths, I think. So if I was to take and run this all the way off, all the way underneath here to where that's gone, and that comes down flush, even with this up a little bit, it's still this ear. This is what we talked about. I can't remember who it was saying that it's going to hit. That's the reason they don't do that. It's because this will hit right here. So, do I think I could do it? Yes. Is it worth messing with? I don't know. Now that that's on there and everybody, you know, and you can see the little wavy edge or whatever there. you know, it's not, I think it doesn't look as bad on the car as it did off the car. And you would never, just walking by, you would never notice that. Well, you guys will now because you know that there's a little indentation in there. But so right where I'm at now is, do I want to take the time to rip all that plastic off there, take the chance of whatever, and bring this down? Because if I bring this down, so I take this almost all the way off to where these nubs are gone, which I can do. That's well, I gotta lift that back up. I should have put the rubber back in there, but anyway, it's about, that's 270 some thousandths in there. Anyway, so what I'm getting at is this edge right here is gonna touch. So what I would have to do is shave a little bit off of here to keep it from touching. So I need to measure how much that is, which that's not going to change. That's good on the old calipers there. So that's right at, with one hand, that's right at 229 thousandths. And my battery's going dead, that's why it's blinking. 229 thousandths, let me lock that. So 229 thousandths off that is going to make it pretty, I mean, almost where it's just riding on this. So I would actually have to shave a 1/16 or so off of this probably. And again, depending on how much that lifts up like that. But it's so close that I'm not sure, you know, and then again too, you know, if you're standing up here and you're looking at that, that looks fantastic. So I'm like, all right, if it's actually almost sitting on this, will it look stupid? Because I don't want that. And those little nubs don't look that bad right there. Like I said, the other guy, he filled all this in with fiberglass, but that's not fiberglass, so I'm not going to be able to do that. So, yeah, how far do we want to go with this? I don't know. It looks really good, the way it's sitting on there. Everything's lined up. All the lines are straight across the back end. This, which I really like, is pretty much perfectly lined up with my trunk lid. And you can't, honestly, from here, as you come across, you can't see that gap unless you were to bend down under here like that. You know what I mean? Then you could kind of see the little gap that's in there. So from here, which I'm sitting down right now, or if I stand up, you can't see anything. So that's kind of where we're at. Same deal over here. This fits really nice. That's really parallel, I guess you would say. The only issue I have that I definitely have to fix, which I don't like, but it is what it is. I would really like, if you look at here, and hopefully that's not too much light, because if I lay my hand there, that runs right smooth, like it's a continuing contour. See what I'm saying? If I laid a straight edge, it would really, it just follows that perfect. Well, of course, it doesn't over here. We got a little bit of a step right here. So I'm gonna have to split that difference. I have no choice. My guess is aftermarket, this is as far in as I could possibly get them without having to splice that and move it in or whatever, which would have made this smaller and got into a whole different animal. So I'll actually have to just move this over maybe 1/8 inch or so. So I'll have an 1/8 inch gap here and then an 1/8 inch gap over here or something, somewhere close to that anyway, just to even it out. And again, I'm picking now because that looks fine and the other side looks fine. But if I had the best of everything, they would both look like that. because like I said, that's just looks like it's just a continuing, and I like that. But I'm splitting hairs right now. So basically, yeah, I'll just move this out. It'll still look really nice. Hell, if it was like that, it looks nice. That's not bad, but I can move it over a little bit. I may have to rim some of the holes out just a little bit more to get a little bit of play that way. But yeah, that's it. It looks really good. So we're looking at another 5-6 hours of work to rip all that down. So Daryl, I'm talking to you probably more than anyone. This is your car, and I will be more than glad to do whatever you want to do. If you want to take the chance, and like I said, this looks really good, brother, so don't get me wrong, I like it right now. But if you want it to be, you know, super contoured to, like I said, where this edge right here is literally sitting on that with maybe just a little 1/16 of an inch gasket sandwiched in there, you know, it's going to make it look more sleek. But again, this area right here, as that little gasket wears out eventually, I'm just trying to think ahead. You're slamming the trunk, eventually that probably will start maybe trying to put a dent right there. So is it worth it? I'm gonna probably say no. And again, from what I've seen from everyone else, that little guy right there in the middle, everyone's is doing that for the most part. So, but everything else looks really good. I'm pretty happy with the way it's sitting on there. So all I need to do, like I said, is bring it back this way just a tad. Hopefully this is showing. I know it's a bunch of different colors, but and this gap here I'm real happy about. We talked about that. I still haven't welded this panel in yet, but that gap from here to here, that's really nice. I won't even have to mess with that, which is fantastic. And of course I will have to mess with these. Now I'm going to have to split this and move it in, or weld rod to this, which, you know, 6 on one hand, half dozen the other. So this gap is actually a little better than that side over there, but it's still going to have to be for 3/16 gap. So you see what I'm saying? That's probably close to a factory gap right there, but yeah, it's going to have to come in quite a bit. So and I've got this I got to deal with. I think we talked about this before too. There's a nice little dent here, and then it's a bubble here. So all that's gonna have to be pulled up, and that's gonna have to be tapped down, and we'll have to kind of work on that a little bit. But we'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm Daryl. I'm pretty happy with that. And like I said, I'll do anything you want me to do. If you want me to go ahead and try to get this to where, you know, that's literally sitting a 1/16 of an inch off that, I will. But again, 5 years from now, when that gasket starts wearing out or whatever starts, you know, I got a horsefly trying to bite me. Oh, I got that sucker right there. Anyway, he landed on my arm. I think he did kind of bit me, but anyway, maybe just give me a kiss. I don't know, because it didn't hurt like normally they would. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Hopefully I'm getting good pictures of all this. And so I may end the video today on that, and tell me what you guys think. Daryl, what you think's most important. So when you watch this, let me know. And then I'm gonna go ahead and work some of these dents. Maybe go ahead and weld that in. I'll just play with some other stuff, you know, because it's about almost 3 o'clock right now, so I still got a few hours to play. So, but yeah, there you go. I think it looks good. I'd hate to cut all that down, like I said, and then end up screwing the spoiler up, especially when it really does look pretty good, and especially from standing up. And then, I mean, you can still see the little, I don't know what you want to call those, little stops, basically. But they may be a necessary necessary deal to keep this from whacking our panel here. So, but it is possible, don't get me wrong. We run that off there, I can go ahead and shave this up just a little bit to where it's just barely missing that. But then, like I said, I was thinking ahead, thinking, well, man, when our rubber starts kind of squashing down and start, you know, and the heat and the whole deal, and it starts settling, is that going to cause a problem to where you pop the trunk and it goes bam and hits your panel, and then you got problems. You know, it may crack this out being plastic, or it could put a dent in that. So obviously they put that in there for a reason. So if you're going to use this car for driving and having fun, which I think you are, going to an occasional show, you might want to leave it that way. If you were going to take it to SEMA, you can, you know what I mean, you can glue that and not even open the trunk, whatever you want to do, you know. That's, I don't know what all they do to those cars, but I guarantee you they're trailer queens and they don't get driven at all, especially when they have filling all these gaps in, and like I said, you slam the door and pop something and you're in trouble. So, but yeah, like I said, it looks good. Now I'm rambling, so I'll walk around this again real quick. So that gap there it's real nice. I mean, that literally is just, it's a little, like I said, it's a little high, but they're all that way. They're all going to be that way. So that's not anything unusual. That's normal. And I even like the way they've done this, where they actually made it dive down a little bit right there. You can see how that kind of contours with the shape of that. So that makes it nice too. So, all right, guys. Let me pop that trunk open and show you what we look like from the inside. Hold on a sec, I'll bring you back. All right, there's what we're looking like with the trunk open. Of course, those stick out like a sore thumb right now because they're silver. But once it's all painted and everything. So that would be the factory hole. And of course, that's when we put in there. And it's right over, if it looks a little funky, it's because it's going over the edge there. So, you know, it's round, it just doesn't look. And I may take a little grinding wheel and just kind of dress that up to make that perfectly round. Same thing here. I need to dress it up just a little bit on a couple areas now that I'm looking at it and make it perfectly round. But yeah, that's way better than bullet holes. So, and that's pretty close to factory looking from what everything else I've seen. But Tom, what I was talking to you about earlier, it looks like your holes are maybe up here a little higher, but again, your spoilers probably fits a little different. So you have a different, like I don't have your holes here are raised up here. You know what I mean? This is just smooth. This trunk is not for a rally sport, or not a rally sport, for a Z28 spoiler. It's not really obviously made that way. It was for just a flat trunk, so that was an afterthought. But oh yeah, something else I gotta do. I gotta weld these little holes in so that doesn't leak into the trunk, which is no biggie. I gotta take all that back off. So, all right, guys, this video is gonna be long because I've been blabbing, and but there you go. I think it looks pretty good, and I'm happy with it. Like I said, I got these in the same locations, both measured everything out. Took extensive time measuring and making sure everything was just right. With the trunk up, you can see over the edge there how nice that looks. You know, so that's really pretty nice. So Daryl, let me know what you think. If you were really digging on taking and shaving this down, let me know. We'll go ahead and do it and see what happens. If not, we'll live with it and be happy. All right, see you guys.